Hey, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Gates Official. I'm Alessio, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Beyond the Gates, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. On Beyond the Gates, Derek wasn't convinced he had heard Ashley correctly. Ashley renewed her marriage proposal and admitted that their relationship had been back and forth. Derek was startled that she would want to marry him while he was disabled. Okay, my future husband is being dumb right now, Ashley smiled. She was confident that he would thrive even if he couldn't walk, and that they would love each other regardless of whether he moved his legs. When Derek reflected on what had pulled them together, Ashley noted that part of it was due to Derek's prowess. He was relieved that his prowess was still fully operational. Derek explained that the pull had been in their pursuing their ambitions, Ashley's as a nurse and Derek's as a firefighter, which he could no longer do. Ashley became upset, assuring Derek that quiet heroes existed and could be seen every day in the hospital. Sometimes heroism is moving a single toe today, she told me, and then a second toe 6 months later. Ashley went on to say that perseverance could be the ultimate definition of bravery. She still wanted to be Derek's wife, but Derek was concerned that Ashley was more interested in the prospect of nursing him than he was. Ashley admitted that she had turned down his proposal because she needed time, but now that she had it, she was certain that marriage to him was what she desired. Derek finally stated, "I would love to be Mr. Ashley Morgan," which excited Ashley. Shanice came in to run Derek through his physical therapy exercises and was surprised to discover that he and Ashley had recently been engaged. After Shanice objected to Ashley's 180, Ashley admitted that she had wavered but insisted that she had completely recognized the depths of her affections for Derek when he had his injury. Shanice congratulated Derek, but as Ashley left the room, she was more concerned about the real state Derek was in and about the engagement. "Are you going to tell her, or am I?" Shanice asked firmly. Derek appeared perplexed, but Shanice said that her experience meant she knew Derek was showing indications of recovery. Shanice asked to know if Derek had regained feeling in his legs, to which he definitively said no. Derek listened as Shanice took him at his word, but she insisted that he report any changes in his condition immediately. Shanice noted that not only did PT need to be altered based on any progress, but Ashley was also making life-changing decisions based on his current situation. Derek agreed, but he appeared daunted. The Hawthorns entered Orphe Jeans and expressed concern over Chelsea's recovery from her kidnapping. June impressed the pair by coming to their table to wait on them. She had just started training as a server at the diner, which she mentioned was probably her first steady job. The new waitress happily announced that she was staying in the shelter that had been arranged for her. Jacob and Naomi were pleased for her, and June moved on to another table. As Naomi explained to Jacob how Chelsea had actually intended her to represent Allison, June brought them the wrong orders and was determined to make things right when she discovered it. Soon after, June dropped a plate of food, causing her confidence to plummet. When she complained that she was bad at her work, Naomi explained that first day nerves were common. June appreciated the Hawthorns gassing her up, but she was confident she'd be dismissed before her shift ended. "I'm no good to anybody," she sighed. Tyrell, Nicole, and Smitty sorted through clothes to donate to charity. When Tyrell headed upstairs to get some kicks, Smitty asked Nicole how she was doing with her divorce. Nicole said that moving on was easier than she had anticipated, but Smitty wanted to know if she ever missed Ted. Mrs. Richardson felt it was impossible not to after 30 years of marriage, but she didn't miss him enough to forgive him. Smitty could identify to having difficulties forgiving a spouse, but he thought it strange that Nicole expected him to pardon Martin while she refused to pardon Ted. Nicole didn't think their situations were very similar, but she remained hopeful for her kid and Smitty, who was equally hopeful for Nicole and Ted. Before she could say anything else, Martin appeared, and Smitty and Nicole exchanged barely veiled thoughts about the Richardson-Smith marriage. After she went, Martin was relieved that they were all participating in the clothes drive as a family and told Smitty that he missed them as a pair. As Martin realized that Smitty's coldness was upsetting, Smitty reminded him that he had asked for time to analyze his emotions and had remained firm in his request. Mr. Smith was aware that Mr. Richardson had a tendency to press until he got what he desired. Later, Samantha was going to tell Tyrell what had transpired between her and the boy she had kissed when Martin entered the room and saw how quiet the youngsters were. Samantha said she was okay, so Smitty phoned Tyrell to help him remove more charity items out of the attic, leaving Martin and Samantha alone. The congressman sensed something was wrong with his daughter. Samantha was willing to concede she needed to talk to someone, but she wasn't convinced Martin was the best option. Samantha, on the other hand, let her guard down and told him how much she liked the lad, Nathan. Martin was moved that Samantha trusted him enough to open up about him. Martin's tone shifted, however, when Samantha admitted that she and Nathan had almost hooked up. Samantha said, on the condition that Martin not be helicoptery, that she hadn't gone as far as Nathan had wanted her to, and thus she believed Nathan had grown to despise her. Martin stated that he would prefer to keep Samantha up indefinitely, but when Samantha requested a female perspective, Martin suggested she speak with Nicole. Samantha thought it was horrible timing, given everything her grandma was going through, and concluded that the person she truly needed help from was her mother, June. Ted had been inebriated in his hotel room after getting ganged up on by Nicole and the Duprees. Eva saw his door open and received an earful of how his commitment to the family had not been appreciated. She didn't know what to say when he went on to say Nicole had taken away the flowers he'd sent her and had begun lunching with Carlton. Ted muttered that he still wanted Nicole back and that he was furious with Leslie. Eva took Ted's bottle away and suggested he take a nap. She led him to the couch, where he lay down to sleep. Vernon marveled at the Dupree house that neither he nor Anita had any plans for the afternoon, but their bubble broke when the doorbell rang, and Anita guessed Leslie was on their way. Vernon decided it was best to find out what Leslie was doing, so he let her in. Leslie greeted her neighbors and reported that she had finally secured the house across the street. Despite being featured on the cover of Architectural Digest, Leslie disappointed the Duprees with her intentions to demolish the old house and construct a house studio added on to a house, out of mahogany. Anita and Vernon shuddered even more when Leslie suggested installing a moat and a sparkly garden gnome to reflect light directly into their living room. Leslie sauntered out just as Nicole entered, choosing to make one of her landscape trolls resemble Ted's almost former spouse. Nicole grumbled when she heard about the house, claiming Leslie was trying to make their life miserable. Vernon astounded Nicole and Anita by disclosing that he was already working to oppose Leslie, having called the head of the country club board and convinced him that Leslie was of questionable character. Vernon succeeded in setting up a video chat with the full board and agreed to provide the man everything they knew about Miss Thomas, following which Leslie's country club membership was withdrawn. Nicole was pleased with the improvements, but concerned about Leslie moving into Fairmont Crest. "We've got time," Vernon assured quietly. Eva went to Leslie's flat, where Leslie complained that she hadn't seen her daughter in a while. When Eva expressed concern for Ted, Leslie said, "My Ted." Eva assumed Leslie was still upset with Ted for preventing her from purchasing the Dupree-adjacent house, but Leslie insisted on forgiveness. Leslie purred that Ted had just been disingenuous to disguise his affection to her, even after Eva mentioned Ted's sullenness toward Nicole. Eva couldn't believe Leslie was so upbeat after crying on her shoulder earlier. Leslie boasted that her comeback mode was always activité. After Eva recalled Ted downing nearly an entire bottle of whiskey, Leslie abruptly told Eva she needed to leave, but she refused to tell her daughter where she was going. With Eva gone, Leslie peered into the mirror, doused herself in perfume, and dashed to Ted's hotel room, where her knock jolted him awake. Ted could barely hear Leslie's appeal to forgive him for lying to give her Nicole's house. Leslie stated he had committed the ruse to keep her close, and she began undressing herself. Ted told Dana to keep her clothes on, claiming that he adored Nicole and everything she represented. Leslie softly stated that Ted must be as tired of the Duprees as she was, and then pulled Ted's tie. "You know you want this," she said, revealing skin. Ted pretended to think about it but almost left the room, only caving in when Leslie promised to make him feel better. He shushed her before leading her to his bed.